Hello, I'm Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to demonstrate how to make a 4-patch, and I'm going to show you how to turn that 4-patch into a pillow. Now, a 4-patch is a very popular quilt block. It's used not only in making pillows, but table runners, full-size quilts, tote bags. There's a variety of things you can do with a 4-patch. Now, before I start showing you how to assemble your pillow cover, I'm going to talk to you about pillow forms. Now, pillow forms can be purchased in your sewing and craft stores. You can get them online, and you can even purchase them in a discount store. That's where I got this one, and this particular one cost me less than $4. So it's really an inexpensive project to do. Okay, now I'm going to be using a pillow from my sofa. Okay, now it's still in really great shape. It's just that I'm kind of tired of it and I want to change the look of my sofa. So I am recovering all of my pillows. The cover is still fine, but the pillow form is in great shape. So that's why I don't want to throw it away. So if you're going to use an existing pillow form that you already have, make sure that you measure it first to make sure you know exactly the size of the pillow. So take a tape measure and lay it across the top. Take one end of the tape measure, where the number 1 is, lay it at the seam line, and then drape it across and look to see where the seam line is on the other end of the tape measure. Now, don't push down on the pillow, just lay it across. This particular pillow is a 17-inch square pillow. Okay, let me show you a simple formula to follow. Here is how to calculate how much fabric you're going to need and the size of your squares. Now, this is, you're going to add 1.5 inches to your measurement. So here is 17 inches is the size of my existing pillow. You're going to add that 1.5 inch, and it comes out to 18.5 inches. Then you want to divide that by 2, and it comes out to 9.25 inches. This is the size of the squares you're going to need. You're going to need 2 different fabrics for this 4-patch project. So I call it an A fabric and a B fabric. You're going to cut 4 squares out of each of your fabrics. They're going to be 9.25 inches square. Okay? All right, now I've already cut my squares out. Okay? So here they are. And by the way, if you're not quite sure how to go about cutting out your squares, watch my video, Tips for Cutting Quilt Fabric, and I show you an easy method to use to cut out squares. So you're going to lay your A fabric on top of your B fabric. Bring the right sides of the fabric together, so where the wrong side is facing up at you. Pin and stitch 1/4 inch across both sections of squares. Okay? Then when you're done with that, go to your ironing board and press it with your iron on both sets of squares. And then open it up, okay, and press again on the right side of the fabric. And as you're pressing, you're going to push against the seams. Don't stretch your fabric, just push against it on both sets of squares. You want it so that your seams are going in the same direction. See that? They're pointing in the same direction. Okay, then you're going to take one set of squares and flip it to where it looks like this now. Okay? Then you're going to take one side and fold it on top of the other, bringing right sides together again to where the wrong side is up. Okay, now you're going to match your seams and lock them in together. So you're going to make sure that this seam is right up against that seam. and you're going to press it in to where it feels like it's right together. If it feels lumpy and bumpy, it's probably not lined up. So you see that? So go ahead and pin those seams together. Continue pinning across, and then do a 1/4 of an inch seam here. Then press it with your iron. Then unfold it and push against that seam, not stretching the fabric. Push against the seam with your iron and press again. Okay? Now you need to create 2 of these blocks, all right? A front and a back. Then take those 2 blocks that you've just created and bring right sides together again, okay? And you're going to match your seams up again, locking them in on all 4 sides. So put a pin in there, making sure they're nice and smooth. You'll have 4 of these, you need to do that too. Then begin pinning on one corner and continue pinning all the way around. Then when it comes time to start stitching, you're going to do a 1/2 inch seam, okay? 1/2 inch seam, and you're going to leave an opening on one side. So do a few stitches back and forth, then stitch towards that corner. When you get a 1/2 inch away from this side, stop, leave your needle down, press your foot up, turn your fabric, and begin stitching down the other side. Continue stitching all the way around, and every time you come to a corner, leave your needle down and press your foot up. Then when you come to this other corner here, your last corner, you're going to stitch out a few inches, stitch back and forth to secure your stitching. So you have this large opening here. You don't want to stitch across all 4 sides. You want one opening. Then after you've done that, you want to trim your corners. And this is a really easy task to do. You're going to either take a pair of scissors or a rotary cutter and go at a 45-degree angle. So you're going to cut across like this. Then from this edge here, you're going to cut towards the corner, but remember, don't stitch real close, don't cut real close to your stitches. You need about a 1/8 of an inch of fabric there. Cut across like that, and do the same on the other side. So do this on all 4 corners, okay? Then after you've got that done, you want to take that opening and fold the fabric back a 1/2 an inch on the wrong side and press it with your iron, and do it on both sides of the opening. This will save you a lot of trouble later if you press this opening with your iron, okay? So don't forget to do that step. Then the next thing you need to do is turn it right side out. So you're going to reach inside and grab the opposite end and pull it through. Then you're going to go to all 4 corners one at a time and take one of your fingers and begin poking it through, okay? Now, if you can't get it all the way poked out and you're having problems, that means you're going to need to take something to help you poke it through. Now, I'm using a decorator fabric. Well, so it's got a larger weave. Something this sharp and pointy will probably go right through it. So I don't recommend you use something quite this pointed. So here's something that's a little duller. It's pointed, but it's a little larger point. This is a pin. Now remember, don't leave that part out, okay? Hide it away, and then reach inside and begin poking some more, trying to push that fabric out. If that's not working for you, then take a straight pin, okay, and be real careful when working with a straight pin, and try to pull this out some more, just reaching in and gently pulling on it, okay? All right, now it's always going to be a slightly dull corner. It's not going to be real pointed. That's okay. Do this on all 4 corners, okay? Then you're going to insert your pillow. All right, so take your pillow form, and when you're putting it inside, you need to squish it in. You might be able to hold it with one hand as you begin to push it inside your pillow cover. Take your time. You're going to need to kind of twist a little bit, tipping from one side to the other. All right, then after you've got it in there and you've got it all smoothed out, all right, then you need to pin or clip, like I have, that opening closed to get it ready to do a slip stitch. Now these clips you can purchase in a fabric craft store. I purchased mine in a discount store, and you can also get them online, okay? So now, once you've got that opening closed up, you want to do a slip stitch, and it's really easy. Anybody can do a slip stitch. Doesn't take a lot of sewing experience to do it. A slip stitch is basically a blind stitch. Nobody can see it. So you're taking a needle and thread, put a knot at the end of your thread. Then you're going to go into one corner and bring your needle in from inside up through the fold line. I'm trying to get it in there. Up through the fold line. Okay? Pull your thread all the way through. Then go across to the other fold line and stick it in on the fold. Go in about 1/8 of an inch and pull it through, pulling your thread all the way up, all the way through. Then go over directly to the other side and do the same thing. Bring it in 1/8 of an inch, pull it up and out. Then go back across, stick it in again, pull it up and out. Keep going back and forth and make sure that you pull this snug. And as you can see, nobody can see your stitching. Do that all the way across. And once you've done that, you have a really pretty 4-patch pillow that will add a lot of life to your sofa, your bedroom, a guest room, a pretty chair. It'll look really great. Okay, let me show you what's happening in the next video. I'm going to take that 4-patch and just do a little bit of a twist with it. I'm going to do a 4-patch within a 4-patch, and I'll show you an easy method for making these smaller squares. It's really quick and fast. And my next few videos will focus on this 4-patch, and I will show you a variety of things you can do with it. So, to keep informed on all my future videos, click on subscribe at the bottom of your YouTube screen. These big bold word down there. It might be up at the top somewhere if you're looking at it from your iPad or cell phone. Once you click on that, YouTube will prompt you for your email address. Enter that information, and the next time I have a new video, YouTube sends you an email with a big button in the center. You click on that and it takes you directly to my next video. I'm Cheryl. I'm really glad you came to my sewing room. See you next time, and happy sewing.